Hello and welcome back to Action Pop Dad for part 2 of this special series showcasing toys submitted by other YouTubers and members of the toy community that were special to them as a kid or that are special to them that they've got in their collection now they're an adult. Part 1 was a real joy to film and I've really enjoyed doing part 2. So here are the rest of the submissions from other people. I hope you've enjoyed it and thank you for watching.
Thanks Nick for including me in this video. So there's a few toys in my collection that I couldn't be without, but one that I definitely could not be without is my G1 Galvatron. Now, I have told this story a few times, but for those of you not familiar with my channel, G1 Galvatron is connected to a very strong childhood memory of mine. So back in '86, when my brother and myself were 7 years old, my grandparents took us to see the '86 Transformers movie, and it was amazing. Absolutely loved it. It was a daytime showing because obviously we were only 7, so it was a daytime showing. And when we came out, unbeknown to us, our grandparents planned to take us to the local Woolworths. So complete surprise. And when we got there, they told us to pick out one Transformer each. Now we'd just seen the movie, of course, so we went for the big boys. My brother picked Ultra Magnus, and I picked this guy, Galvatron.
The courageous Ultra Magnus is a born leader. We meet at last, Galvatron.
And it will be the last time we meet.
And Galvatron is Ultra Magnus' sworn enemy. Galvatron transforms from laser cannon to fighting robot. And Ultra Magnus from huge car carrier to Autobot commander.
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
The Transformers, each sold separately from Hasbro.
I absolutely loved him. I loved the movie. I was absolutely mesmerised, I remember, by seeing the reformat of Megatron into Galvatron, and I just loved it.
Behold, Galvatron.
And instantly I was hooked. I thought Galvatron was an amazing character, so badass. I mean, how awesome that the first thing he does is disintegrate Starscream during his coronation. And I just love this guy. Changes into a robot, changes into a land cannon, and changes into a handgun. And even though he is a triple changer, I don't actually think he was ever officially recognised as a triple changer, but I just love this guy. And just combined with how awesome he is as a toy, and obviously the childhood memories that it's connected to. Even though this isn't my childhood version, this is one figure that I could not be without in my collection.
If there was one toy in my collection that I could just never bear to part with, you know, if the house caught fire and I had to grab one toy and run from that burning building with the one toy, it would be my childhood Action Man figure. Now, when I was a kid, I think I had about 6 Action Man figures, like 4 in good condition and then another couple that were broken, you know, missing hands and things like that. But I had a favourite, and it was this guy. And he actually went missing for a very, very long time because somewhere over the last 30 plus years of collecting Action Man, I had dressed this guy in a uniform and he just disappeared among the rest of the collection. And some time ago, I want to say in the last 2 years, I was doing a little bit of rearranging and I took an Action Man figure out of the armoured Jeep and undressed him to put him in a different outfit. And I realised that this was my Action Man. And there's a very specific reason I know that this was my Action Man. Let me see if I can just get this outfit undone here. And it's because, we'll get that tabard over his chest there. On his arm, he has a scar melted into his arm, which I did with a hot match head when I was a kid, and it was, I think I was trying to recreate that scene in Rambo, you know, where he falls out of the tree, cuts his arm, and sews it up later with a fishing line. So yeah, when I undressed this guy, when I took him out of the Jeep and undressed him with the intention of putting him in a different outfit for a different display, I realised what it was and I was like, man, this is my childhood Action Man. So I dressed him in this Space Ranger outfit and he's the only Action Man figure that is not in the collection room with all the other figures in the display. This guy, because he's really, really loose because he was played with so much when I was a kid. He's incredibly loose. He barely stands up, which is probably why I had him in a Jeep in the display earlier on. So now he just sits atop my kind of collection of toy collecting guidebooks that are at the editing suite where I make all the analog toys videos, and he sits there and keeps me company late into the evening when I'm making content for the YouTube channel. All right, my childhood action man. That's the one I would never part with.
G'day, it's Matt from Keep On Collecting. Thanks Nick from Action Pop Dad for inviting me onto Toy Treasures to talk about, well, a toy that I had that's followed me for 45 years, since probably about 1976, 1977. I saved up my pocket money. When we were younger, we were only allowed like one toy, birthday, Christmas, very rarely in between. And I think this was an in-between one. It's the dinky Space 1999 Eagle. It's followed me everywhere for 45 years, probably about 10 to 12 moves in my life. And this, I used to play with this all the time. And at one stage, my brother had the UFO interceptor. He was playing with this in the sandpit, crashed it into the sand, and man, the jets just came off just like the show. But man, unlike the show, he got a walloping. And my dad, being the ingenious guy that he is, stuck them back together. Over the years, I'm a decent drawer, so I actually drew eagles, I drew little people, I played with this all the time, and this has followed me throughout my life. And as you can see, I've tried to make it white. I don't know why they never made a pure white eagle back in the day. I liquid papered it, didn't quite work out, looks stupid, but I'm not touching it because it's part of how I grew up and how I played, and how this beautiful dinky eagle has followed me. Since then, I have acquired the other two eagles in my collection, and of course, this one here, the big 3-footer. My mate Andrew and I love this show, Space 1999, and you know what? I adore this, and I'm still really happy that it's in my collection. So remember, as we always say, keep on collecting your Space 1999 vehicles.
You know, one of the nicest things about collecting toys is the memories that it gives you. And I think one of the reasons why us older blokes collect these toys is because of nostalgia. And, you know, these toys give us so much fun and so much joy. But sometimes toys come along, especially when you're a child, that just mean the world to you. And my favourite figure of my favourite toy of all is this bad boy right here. Yep, 1983's Kenner, Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight. Oh, what a figure, unbelievable. But one of the things I do remember was going to see Return of the Jedi at the cinema, and me and Manga Fandango went with, I think it was my mum and dad took us, and I just remember seeing Luke in that black outfit, and I just thought, no, what the France, how cool does he look? He looks awesome. And I was mesmerised. How old was I? 8, 9, something like that. And I was just mesmerised by him. Ever since then, I've done nothing but, you know, buy Luke Skywalker figures, you know, all the way through, preferably in the black outfit. I mean, it's always been my favourite one, from TVC to Power of the Force to Black Series. But nothing beats this figure. I mean, it's funny, I've got thousands of toys in here and I had to get rid of all of them. This is the bad boy I would keep. It means so much to me. I mean, as a kid, a lot of people wanted to be Han and so forth, but I always wanted to be Luke. I just thought Luke was the coolest character ever, and especially in Return of the Jedi, he was awesome. So, anyway, Nick, and all you Action Pop Dad fans out there, this is Shabby's favourite. Return of the Jedi Luke by Kenner. Fantastic figure, innit?
So here is my submission of a toy that I've had since childhood that I knew I had to get back in my collection. This is my original Duke figure that I received on my birthday. I believe it was my 8th or 9th birthday in 1993. This guy is so special to me. I had a vintage Action Man which a neighbour gave me, and he basically fell apart and my mum and dad threw him away, which is devastating to think of now because I've repaired so many Action Men and it's so easy to put right.
He's back, and nothing's going to stop him. It's Action Man! Stalker, Duke, and Snake Eyes fight the evil Cobra Commander. Each 12 inches tall and authentically detailed, from lifelike hair to cloth uniforms, combat helmets, and metal dog tags. And each Combat Action Man comes with an awesome light and sound weapon. Action Man, he's back, and nothing's going to stop him.
I woke up on my birthday and there was a box. I unwrapped it and there was this guy, Duke. This Duke, the only thing that's original on him from childhood is his head. I've had him reflocked, but his original body broke long ago, so I've replaced it with another body, and I've had to replace his uniform because mine, I'd drawn on it with felt tips, I'd cut chunks out of it to make him battle damaged, but I had so much fun with him. Now this toy is played with by my son Jackson, and I absolutely love knowing that in years to come he'll be able to look back at this and have memories like I have. Being as he was so special to me, I did go onto eBay and I found a boxed version for, I think it was £25 or £30, and I just knew I had to get this in my collection. In years to come, I'm hoping that my son Jackson will inherit this toy from me and he'll look on it and he'll think back to memories that he's made with this guy, and it will be just as special. I hope you've enjoyed my submission for this video, and I hope you can see why this guy is so special to me. I couldn't be without him. As I say, he may not be all the original parts. He's a little bit of a Trigger's broom of toys, but to me he's special. He'll always be special, and I hope to always have him in my collection, and I hope to always have this box guy. Thanks for watching.
Hello, DTM Collectables here. Yeah, so this Marc and Mindy Mark from Marc egg ship is something that I've picked up to remind me of my childhood, and yeah, it's the first figure I remember owning. God, a long time ago. Am I really that old? Yeah, I loved it. I took it everywhere. Put it in my coat pocket. I put it in my school bag. I took it everywhere with me. At the end of it all, though, I only had the base of the egg ship. But yeah, this is Marc. Nice looking figure for its age. The paintwork on this one's really good. I mean, we got it off eBay, and yeah, can't fault the paintwork on this one. It's not been touched up at all. It came fresh out the box, and yeah, this is the part of the egg ship that it sits in. Very basic, but like I say, I loved it. I really did like it as a kid, and like I say, it's the first action figure I remember owning as a kid. Obviously my parents or grandparents will have bought it me, I can't even remember, but yeah, there it is. This is the packaging it came in. I got this one off eBay. It was coming off the bubble. It's a weird little hole there. It's like the beginning of James Bond. Yeah. Imagine Robin Williams as James Bond. Anyway, there's the original price label tag things. Can't make out where it's from, but yeah, it's been reduced. Must have been a peg warmer. Yeah, the reverse had all the other bits and bobs you could get from Marc and Mindy. The big Marc and the other egg with the little dude in there. Could have tried to hunt one of them down. But yeah, loved Marc and Mindy. Loved having the egg ship as a kid. So made sense to go out and find one a few years ago.
Welcome back, and that was the end of part 2. I hope everybody's enjoyed the submissions that have been sent in. I certainly have. Massive thanks again to everybody who took part in this project, part 1 and part 2. You've all been fantastic, and as I've already said, I was blown away by just how many people who were happy to support my little channel in this project. I hope to come back to something similar to this in the future, but until then, thanks everyone who took part. I hope everyone who's watching has enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.